Welcome back to The Careful Diver. My name is Juji Carminati. Thank you for joining me today. Tonight we're going to talk about night dives. I love night dives. I really like blackwater diving. That's a whole other conversation. But night dives are fun. Little critters, the darkness, the quiet. It's amazing. But you may be a little nervous and thinking, it's just dark. Yes. So the thing to know about night dives is the following. First, when you do a water entry on a night dive and a descent, you will very likely either have a line to take you down, that is the standard way to do it, or have an easy entry exit. So I'm thinking about a shore dive. That's pretty easy. You know, shore is that way or wherever, and then you just know as long as you head back that way, you're going to hit the shore. Or you can have a boat that has some kind of bright lights at the top and you can go down under the water, hang out a little bit, and then come back up, but your boat will be really easy to find. So the big key in that is that descent, ascent, exit, entry have to be a little bit easier than they would be normally. A little bit more thought has to go into it because it is going to be dark and you want to make sure you don't get confused and you don't get lost. Next, temperature. Take that into consideration. Sometimes water temps will drop, sometimes they will not, but you want to make sure that you have appropriate protection for that dive. To me, the night dive is usually a little bit cooler, and certainly it's a little bit cooler when I get out, and I want to make sure that I'm not I'm not feeling cold after I take off my wetsuit. So I will usually have something to put on. I am really kind of freewheeling about getting out and staying in my wetsuit or not, and whatever. I'm not very particular, but at night dives, I am. I'll have my Scuba Pro jacket, or I'll have something to keep me a little bit warm. I'll have a towel. I put a little bit more forethought into it. Next, being able to get found if you get lost or you get too far or whatever. The way you ensure that is lights. In the darkness, lights are your best friend. And there's a couple of different ways that you can do that. And so we're going to talk about lights. Now, lights are also critical because you need them underwater. You need to be able to see where you're going, see what you're doing, so on and so forth. So, rule, first of all, is that if you are doing a night dive, you should always have at least two lights. You're going to have your main light and you're going to have your backup light. So this is my favorite light. Honestly, I'm a little fickle. My favorite light changes very often. But this right now, no, okay. So this is my favorite light. And I do use it as my primary light. But the reality is that when I am diving at night, this is what I go down with. So these two suckers are basically my primary and my other primary. It's a lot of light to have. I have been described as the LAPD chopper. That's how it feels to be diving with me at night. So I go down with these. So I definitely have the lights on my camera, and I always keep at least one on, and I make sure that they are charged. That's a big one. If you're going to do a night dive, check all your lights work and check that they're all charged. And then if I have that, then I will use this as my secondary light. It's usually hanging easy to get on my BCD. There are other secondary lights. This can be a primary or a secondary light. It's very nice and it's actually very reliable. I've had it for years. But in addition to your traditional lights, you also could get one of these. And I absolutely love these lights. They turn on when they're in contact with water. And I will put it on the back of my tank just so that underwater everybody can see me. But I will also be sure to put one at the end of my DSMB. And I will put it at the end of my DSMB. And then I will roll my DSMB in like this. I will roll it in. And I will carry them together. Because should there be an issue and somebody needs to find me and I am floating out there in the ocean, not only will I have my own lights, But I will also have this backup little light that will shine at the top of my DSMB when it's fully deployed and inflated. And that is an extra layer of safety for me. And I really like those lights. You get hundreds of hours of flashing light from it. I very often have them when I'm doing wreck diving, cave diving, and I'm not a big cave diver. I don't really go deep or anything, but I still have them. And definitely when I'm doing night diving, because I'm really easy to spot wherever I am, I have my little flashy light. And so even if my lights die, my primary lights die, and for some reason my secondary light dies, and I still have a light there, and I have one on my DSMB, and that makes sure that everybody finds me. And then finally, I would say that if you're doing a night dive, please be careful with your spatial awareness. People are going to be trying to take all sorts of pictures, and they're not seeing you and you're not seeing them. And I've just heard people get frustrated about bumping into each other at night. So give each other space, give each other grace, always underwater. And that's that. One little extra bonus. I really like this slide because I'm not gonna turn it on in my eyes and my face. There we go. This light is really great because it has a, ooh, there you go. It has an ultraviolet, oh, that's a cool effect. It has an ultraviolet light, and that lets you take really incredible pictures underwater. Because if you did not know this, corals glow. Oh yeah. And so you see like things that you would not have seen definitely during the day, and you see them even differently because you have an ultraviolet light. So I definitely encourage you to get an ultraviolet light. I had a lot of fun with that in the Red Sea. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, my name is Giugi Carminati. I am the Careful Diver, and dive safe.